I'm from
Anytime, maritime!
Anytime Maritime.
Anytime, Marita. It's anytime, Marita.
Anytime, maritime!
And welcome to another episode of Anytime Maritime. This week, Beacon 2025 is happening, or the Blue Economy Annual Convention, and it's happening at the SMX. And so we are covering it. Jobert, who's part of the Anytime Maritime team, will be there to cover it live while I am doing this introduction. But of course, we are a part of it. I was at the opening. I will be speaking on tomorrow. No, the day after tomorrow about the blue economy. And FastCat has a booth there. So if you want to come visit, SMX Beacon 2025 is happening. Allow me also to congratulate the winners of the 10 Outstanding Maritime Students of the Philippines. The awarding happened last Sunday, and we are there. FastCat is there, and congratulations to the organizers, to the winners, to the parents, and the schools. It was truly a special event. Congratulations also to the organizers of the National Seafarers Day event. There was a job fair last Sunday, and also there was a parade. So it was really a fitting and a happy event for the seafarers in the Philippines. So to all our seafarers, happy National Seafarers Day. And so please enjoy being in Beacon here in Anytime Maritime. Thank you.
However, for us, I think the big issue for us here is we are training and development of our own uh, uh, people here to prepare for this new alternative fuel that are coming into line. And I hope that everybody will take a look at it with the best light, in having the opportunity to take advantage of the potential training resources available. We are working able to do now. In fact, we have senior level already for liquid natural gas bunkering, meaning the UAE, and liquid natural methanol bunkering system. We have that in our team leaders now, and both of these are able to train more and more of our seafarers to be able to handle it. While the numbers of liquid natural gas ships is about 400 only so far, and for methanol about less than 100, that the rate of growth is very high. So that means that more and more of our ships in the international fleet will be shifting to liquid natural gas or methanol. This is something that we should all prepare for and should be easy. And therefore, I hope that all of us look forward to a interesting, stimulating, and a beneficial conference ahead. Let me thank everyone for coming, for your presence, and for your contribution to our discussion as we talk about the activities at Marina and at Green City. Thank you very much. Welcome to our second day of the People Expo 2025.
Thank you very much, Vice Admiral Santos from the Maritime League. The Coast Guard has stood as a vigilant guardian of our seas, ensuring maritime safety, protecting our marine environment, and safeguarding the lifelines of our archipelago. At the forefront of these efforts is a leader whose vision, dedication, and unwavering support has greatly strengthened the advocacy of the Maritime League and the Econ Expo in conference. He has played a true part in our endeavors, championing not only maritime security, but also the advancement of the blue economy. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct honor to introduce our guest of honor and speaker, the Commandant of the Philippine Coast Guard, Admiral Ronnie Hildahan.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Ito yata yung pinaka-surprise na nangyari sa buhay ko so far. Honestly, I came here to show support to our idol, yung Reinhardt Santos, na sa young MC, or since I was a young MC, they really admire my success. So to the man behind this greatest surprise in my life, Admiral Eduardo Ma Santos, the President and Chairman of Maritime League, who by the way is the only flag officer in command of the Philippine Navy to allow the transfer of the coast guard. We did the PNET in 1998 to allow the coast guard to be transferred from outside the Navy, from outside the Department of Defense to what was then Department of Transportation and Community. He states now, with his members. Of course, he's very loyal and able human. Admiral Margarito Sanchez, agent na wawala. And the whole of Maritime League, always three members of Maritime League, to a partner in the Department of Transportation, the Administrator of Maritime Industry and Writing, Ma'am Sonia Malaria, and his wingman as well, Engineer Mark Castro. My Philippine Coast Guard Auxiliary, the family members are here, led by Vice Admiral Pelmar. Okay, on the way from Cebu, kayo po kayo ma'am, to be recognized. And talang guwapa. O guwapo. Yeah. And Vice Admiral David Chua is around. And Admiral. And the rest of the members of the 50th Squadron of the PGA. Ang police from the Philippine Navy, kayo sa tayong lahat. Mga nang po ba? Boss yung parang kasal yung boss nila. Ang solo record to the Coast Guard, kayo sa tayo sir. Thank you. Our partners from the Maritime Industry. Meron bang nandito? The wind strength from the maritime world. To everyone, ladies and gentlemen, magandang umaga po sa atin. Honestly, I'm really surprised when I suddenly became the guest of honor of today. So I owe you one, sir. But seriously, I feel so honored to be here before you today. Because on behalf of the Philippine Coast Guard, I'd like to take advantage of this to extend our deepest congratulations to the lead convener of this event and all of the conveners, all of the organizers and participants of this Beacon Beach for 2025. This gathering is both timely and significant. It reflects our shared mission to advance maritime safety, environmental stewardship, and sustainable development under the theme protecting the ocean, the catalyst for a prosperous blue economy. The ocean is the lifeblood of our world. It sustains our people, drives our economy, and shapes our identity as a maritime country. A healthy ocean is the foundation of a thriving blue economy, one that generates livelihood, strengthens trade, and guarantees food supply. But the ocean is also under threat. Pollution, climate change, legal activities, and unsustainable practices. Waste challenges reminds us all that protecting the sea is not just an environmentally, it's not just an environmental responsibility. It is also an economic and moral imperative. It is in fact its essential for a maritime and archipelago. By protecting our marine resources today, we ensure that our oceans continue to serve as engines of growth, sources of food security, and pathways of global connect. The Philippine Coast Guard stands firmly in its commitment to saving lives, protecting the marine environment, and securing our maritime borders. But we recognize that safeguarding the ocean is a mission no single agency can accomplish alone. It requires the collective, everyone's effort, government, of our stakeholders, and international partners, working hand in hand to uphold our shared responsibility as steward citizens. Thus, I commend Econ Expo 2025 for serving as a platform where ideas, innovations, and partnerships will grow. May this event inspire greater collaboration, stronger results, and innovations that will truly transform the vision of a prosperous new economy into a living reality more than words. So together, let us be catalysts for protecting the ocean. When we do so, we are protecting not only the future of our nation and mankind, but at the least, power provide that today. Again, congratulations to the lead convener of Econ Expo 2025, the Maritime League, led by my for the most admired flag officer in command of the Philippine Major, Vice Admiral Bart Masan, sir, and all members of the Maritime League, the warrior supporters, very happy for the very meaningful event today in Hawaii.
Sir, may we conclude with that level of appreciation? Siyempre, may ikaw para na-hire at remind ang dalawa ng mga the recommendation of the platform of this year. This flag of appreciation is hereby presented to Admiral Ronnie Lavan PPG, Commandant of the Philippine Coast Guard, for his continuous support and invaluable contribution to the Maritime League, manifested by his dedication, purposeness, and commitment to its goals and objectives. During the Philippine International Maritime Conference in Position, Beacon 2025, given the 30th day of September 2025, at the Ecumenical Water Center, Malabation, Manila, Philippines. Signed by Vice Admiral Eduardo Maar Sertos, President and Chairman of the Maritime. Thank you very much, sir. That concludes our opening program. Right after our program, the Marina Maritime Safety and Marine Environment Protection Conference. So we are inviting everyone to please join us now for the Marinas Conference after our break.
Oh, guiding our quest. In the maritime world, we are the best. From the sun-kissed shores to the mighty sea, here Expo fills us filled with dreams. Rock
Once again, thank you very much for attending our conference for today, and my apologies to keep you waiting. So we will be having our first presentation. Allow me to introduce our speaker. He is Mr. Michalis Lopesakis, and he is the Maritime Sales Director of Levisas, a leading manufacturer of high-quality life-saving equipment for maritime safety. He is a recognized expert in maritime life-saving and firefighting systems with extensive experience supporting ship owners worldwide in adapting to safety regulations. Mr. Michalis has been actively involved in guiding the industry through the transition of PFAS-free home solutions in line with IMO and AU standards, combining strong commercial leadership with deep technical knowledge. He holds a master's degree in artificial intelligence from the Open University of Cyprus, where his research focused on cybersecurity in the maritime sector in a bachelor's degree in business information systems from the University of Central Lancashire. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Mr. Michalis Lopesakis.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. We are nice to have you here today. Let us say something about it.
Presenting about the maritime life-saving and firefighting systems. So while we are having some technical problem, please be informed that the Beacon Expo will be here until tomorrow, and we will be having some series of conferences. We have also we have the first ever Philippine ships in water show. We are inviting everyone to please visit our open ship. It's open at the Philippine Coast Guard at Pier 15. And you can also visit the headquarters of the Philippine Navy. We have having some exhibitions of the best Philippine Navy assets. We have the Miguel Malabar showcase at the Pier 15. So yeah, I think we're ready to go. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mike Michalis Lopesakis from La Lindas.
Thank you very much. And sorry for the technical delay. From Hani Lopesakis, from the Field Director of Manifest for the Maritime Business, and I'm here today with you for two main reasons. One of them is to support our new branch, Line of Philippines. We have established the business in your area, and we support the message that the suppliers are coming to this area. And the second one is to let you know about the IMO recent regulation amendment for the fixed and portable home system, firefighting systems. See in detail what the IMO does with breakdown in which time frame, as well as the video and the time frame for the review as well. discuss how to protect ourselves, how to protect the business, how to comply with the rules, and what actually has to be done. So we will have an invitation delegation, letting you understand and explain all the attributes that are having to do with it. And at the end, we can also discuss any kind of questions that you might have. But before that, it is critical for me to know things about Niger. So in case that you don't know the land, so they tell who we are and what we do. So, Navigas is a life-saving equipment manufacturer and service provider. The company is established since 1982. The headquarters are based in Greece, and we are manufacturing, distributing, and servicing almost everything about the life-saving and the firefighting equipment. There are, at the moment, more than 100 countries that we are having the footprint, and some of them, the majority of them actually, we're having a direct footprint, while at other places we are utilizing the franchises and the distributors of the local area. There are more than 350 service partners that we are working all over the place, supporting the service teams for all the vessels, electricity and lifeboats, lifeboats, and whatever else community equipment that we might have on board. Okay, move on now, so Lawrence, you can find almost everything as I did before, from life jackets to life raft, DCDs, DVDs, life jackets, inflated life jackets, life rovers, and so many other things. And of course, all these products are fabricated in the 7 factories of the business. One of them is located in Xiamen, China, 3 in Italy, 1 in Greece, 1 in Bulgaria, and 1 in Canada. We are taking care all the sectors of the marine business and dedicated also to offer platforms and ways. So here you're having a visualize of what we do in our daily activity. Okay, all the red dots are actually the supply and sales point. The blue dots are the life of the change point. While at the yellow dots, we are having big warehouse certain locations from which we can arrange these activities to what we do. Okay, so that's the 2 things about us. And now let's move on to our main topic. Okay. Okay, so today's topic is to understand what is going on with the Greek shipping, what the changes that we have seen, what implementation, and all these things that I said before. So everything starts based on the green shipping. You know that we are living on a period that everyone is giving an effort about the greener planet. So this is talking about the tankers, we're talking about the bulk carriers, or talking about containers. How to take control the situation society, climate inflation, really up. We have already raised an action plan, so it is almost well known to the majority of how it will be implemented. As I said, we business scenarios, practical action for compliance, and of course, how we can support it in this case, because it's quite complex, because of that, we will do this presentation. So, everything starts with the Green Planet. The Green Planet has not to do only with one thing. It's having to do with the protection of the oceans, it's having to do with the emissions, with the decarbonization, and many of these words that we have heard many of these times nowadays. Actually, 9 out of 10 topics for the maritime business that we are listening having to do with decarbonization and things that having to do with green planning. So it's another one that is having to do with it. And because of that, we're having a very big topic that has to do with polyfluoride. Have you heard that before? Polyfluoride, PFAS, as you may see, is a family of chemicals that we can actually find in the majority of the daily use items, like popcorn bag or
complicated for them. So this chemical, it is very bad for our health. Very bad. It's connected with the majority of bad for health and conditions like cancers and many other things.
the and because of that, many families have decided to take action. So it's very difficult to take it all out from our life immediately. So, starting from the European Union, we've seen many changes. So, back in 2009, the European Union decided to ban one part of the family of PFAS. That part was PFOS. It's actually one of the many items that is part of the family. And back in the Stockholm Convention in 2009, we actually banned it. So what they did, they want to ban whatever was produced, imported, or sold within the European Union to contain PFOA. They gave an implementation period, okay, and this is actually happened. After 2011, no PFOA was produced, imported, or sold within the European Union. In 2020, in the July 2020, the European Union decided to go a step further. So they banned another part of this family, the PFOA. The PFOA is decided to be also excluded from the production, import, and sales in the EU. And they gave an implementation period till 3rd of December 2025. So it means that in almost 2 months from now on, the PFOA will stop being imported, produced, and be sold inside the European Union. I can understand if this is immediately affects the vessels that are having called inside the European Union, but we will talk about it in a while. So I know having nothing else to do, follow all these aspects, and if you don't means that it's following the brand of the European Union and the planet. So they decided in 2018 to complete compliance the P4. So the particles that the European Union found back in 2009. So we see that we are implementing the same process after 2 years. So they decided that back in 2023, and they gave implementation period till the 1st of January of 2026. That date is having two different approaches. For the new buildings is legal buildings, which means that all the new buildings are having to implement immediately after that the new homes that will be clean from forward. And for themselves, vessels, is giving a period up to the first survey. Which means that they are having up to the first survey to implement for the fixed home system and the program home system. The first survey is considered whatever is coming first. I mean the legal perspective. So only because of that, we can understand that each vessel is having an annual survey on February 2026, for example. It means to implement, if we're talking about the time, a new home to this system till the February 2026. So the time frame is quite small. So let's look at it up the dates. 2009, the Stockholm Convention of the European Union banned the PFOA. In 2020, the European Union is coming again and banning the PFOA. In 2023, the amount following the 2009 Stockholm Convention is also binding to PFOA. 2025 is the end date, 3rd of December for the PFOA, 1st of January 2026 for the IMO for the PFOA. Okay, so we are having less than 3 months for the PFOA, and we are having up to, let's say, 4 months for the IMO. That's the final date. And on top of that, EU is also discussing nowadays to ban all the families that we pass. And this is something that is expected to be done till 2020. So this is something that, as you understand, since we are talking about the greener planet, is moving on and on and on. So how this affects vessels? What type of vessels? What how is affecting the daily routine? First of all, we are talking about fixed systems only for tanker vessels. So at least for the majority of the cases, we are talking about fixed systems for tanker vessels. The tanker vessels are having high and low fixed foam systems, and those are the vessels that are having the most effect due to the fact that they are having a huge operation that we will perform. Most of the foam applications and fire extinguishers, as well as non-portable fire extinguishers, always foam, at any type of vessel are also getting affected. And of course, delegates and whatever else foam tanks you may have on board. So, what are the potential operational issues a vessel might face? Obviously, tension, emergency weight for foam replacement or fire extinguisher replacement, catering and commercial risk, unplanned dry dock expenses, transportation, and compliance deviation confusion. So, operation for long term. How we can avoid all these things, and how we can prepare our business for us to comply with the smoothest way possible. In order to do that, we have first to understand for what we are talking about. So we need to educate ourselves about the foam types and which of them might potentially need to be replaced or not, and how I will be in position to understand what I'm having on which one of my vessels. And help is meeting a condition that will assist me to indicate the future action. So when we are talking about foams, the foams are always separated into two different types: protein foam and synthetic foam. Okay, when we are talking about protein foam, it's the green in here. Okay, those are foams that always will be found at high expansion system. Okay, you will always find protein-based foams, so foams that are not having chemicals that need to be replaced inside of them in the high expansion system. Those foams are the protein-based, so you will see the quantity, the alcohol resistant version of it, the FFF, and the alcohol resistant version of it. Okay. So only 4 types, and those 4 types are always at the high expansion systems of our vessels. Okay, so this type we don't need foam, okay, we don't need to replace. But we need to have a documentation tool who will talk about it more. The rest of the foams are the synthetic type. Okay, those are the yellow tables are the synthetic type of foam. Those foams are the AFFF, the alcohol resistant version of it, the FFFD, again the alcohol resistant version of it, and the FP and the alcohol resistant version of it. Okay, so here we are having 1, 2, 3 combos. Here again we are just starting here. These foams are typically considered foams that you have to examine to check if they need to be if they are having inside of them polyfluorides. And because of that, they are part from the European Union and IMO, and they need to be replaced. Okay. So when I'm having a fixed system or a portable fire extinguisher, what I actually have to do, the first action that I have to take, is to determine what's going on, in which going out to London for have a time for example. You have a high consumption here. So must protein-based home. Protein. You will have a low consumption and must be a synthetic protein. So I have to check if it is or not. Okay. So the Constitution Society what aware about the body sensitivity about the current situation of the world, and the applications that we have reached is that we want to have if the first report or declaration from the manufacturer that the homes that we are having on board are clean, are not having CFOA, CFOA. Otherwise, they are in position to demand immediately to proceed with the necessary action, whichever is a big thing. So you need to have a declaration from the manufacturer or the people. Okay. So for the high expansion system that we talk in the room, that we are considering, you need to have the declaration from the manufacturer program. If the manufacturer is not this anymore, or is not having such a document, you have to perform a dedicated form analysis in order to do. For all the lower participants, the synthetic form that potentially liquid here, the only way to determine if the liquid can convert is by performing a dedicated form analysis. For data analysis, will let us understand if we need to proceed with the replacement of it, or we just send the analysis on board and to consider it. You see that the having two numbers for the computer and then in the Marshall Library and Panama Products, the four of them are published the same thing. It's the also for the forms that we will apply is mandatory for having for its ability record. So to provide the ability a shore-based facility to put that will be formed. Because you can understand that many other things only form writing nothing on the sea, so they are very well prepared and they know that they need to have specific documentation. So in case before they're not home, you need to have the disposal of documentation at your right something for your record. Let's now move on with some scenarios. The scenario will help us understand better what's going on with this news and what will happen to our daily operation with this. So we're having a country. The country vessel which is arriving in the European port. Is a quick, it is a 5% system. So what is it? Because we can do doesn't move with according to my view. However, the office and the website are not aware of all this, and they are not having any kind of documentation. So you do not have any translation folder while the vessel is calling the port. So the port will come on board, will ask for some documentation, and what will happen? The confidence. There will not be any kind of proof not available. They are going to capture, so it's not an issue. The vessel will basically will have huge impact in our operation because we might have a difficulty to go on the next store and make having a development analysis. So there is a big ask to stay there, see where the analysis is there. Can you imagine that all of these scenarios are happening without any of these people because the client communication with the manufacturer, the ability of books, we are talking about 500 points, you consider truly, which take us out of the team. So, this case, the vessel that is company, shipping company, that cannot the vessel and is not aware of this condition, will be traffic without any provision. The funding of the foreign US form, which is the change to lower expansion to form, which means that the form that we are having that is the 1840, but still is one of them that is considered form. The journal in this scenario, this form is not followed by any kind of declaration report. So there is no proof that there is a order for the vessel to provide the concession. Again, we are having the exact same results. Here, there is one bigger problem, one bigger issue. The moment that they will finally take the test report from their everyday life, they will immediately discover that this pump requires replacement. And imagine you have to take 3,000 liters within the 2 days of the port, and what everyone wants to do is to keep doing things the same. This is not the condition that we want to do. Another thing, standard arrives with a training course with non-compliance, law and control. But both crew and officers are unaware of. No manufacturer can enforce the So again, in this scenario, we therefore see we can understand that it doesn't have to do with one of the recording. Either Europe, USA, or China, with the competency of the same, the people on the common board, will demand to have a declaration or a case report of the home status. And immediately after this, we discover that the home is not in, we will have to replace. The market, because I was told to be not affected on the budget, subject for 35 on the budget out there, is arriving in South Africa. We know that it's consistent, but it's having many compiled things and come up with I will like care comparison and so on. And with the portable devices, the most difficult thing is to get back and get a declaration from the manufacturer for each one of their models on the traffic. Imagine that in each vessel of your fleet, you might have 10 to 20 to 30 different types in it, and might be from different makers and different models, different manufacturers as well. So this creates a huge impact separation for each one of the operations you are having, because it's quite difficult to have all these data available. And of course, we don't expect for devices that been manufactured before not from having and putting stuff like capacity and so on. These are things that you will find immediately. So let's go to the back collection. Where the problem, we see what's going on, we see the information, now we have to understand how we can protect ourselves. How we can implement these regulation amendments as easy and smooth as possible. Yes. So you have to understand that each vessel, each system is a standalone thing. So you have to act for it as a standalone project. In any other case, the operation that you created is so huge that it would be very difficult to have it. So key systems, syndicants, and home applicators, all of them are need your review. You have to review them all. Okay. First step, for the fixed systems, try a road expansion, conduct into home manufacturing. Ask for declaration if the form is clean or not. If it is clean, you will have a declaration and you will send it on board. So immediately after you will know that you have finished with these systems. For the rest of the systems that you have no reply or no declarations, a dedicated test report is enough. It is the only way to understand the different budget and understand that you have to do within the next part. Ensure that all the documentation, test reports, and declarations are available on board, at least for the clinic. For the rest, of course, you have to prepare a plan for replacement. The project of replacement, the project of replacement for a fixed system is expected to be done during. Obviously, we know that the investors not having a guidance, and usually the next 4 or 5 months. And for the moment, the drug administration or application providers are not able to do product sampling in this topic. So it means that many vessels will end up to perform these things during Algorand with whatever that means. But if you have a guidebook, it is the most appropriate vacation for foreign flight. And you will see why that. Also, avoid last minute costly horse training, changes, runs, analysis, replacement, and all these things. Will be a huge headache, a huge operation headache, and of course a huge expense. It is not the same to perform all these things that they are taking many days or many weeks in parallel cases to perform within 2 or 3 months. And one of the biggest concerns that we are having with the company that we currently have on board and the company that we will apply on is the following. Imagine that the form that you are having now on board, in order to be in position to extinguish the fire, are having polyfluoride. So this chemical is there for one specific reason, to extinguish fire, to be able to perform being extinguished. So taking it out immediately means that I have to increase the mass of the foam at the same height in order to have similar extinguishing ability. How do that? By increasing the viscosity of the foam. And what the viscosity is? It's very proportional how what is it. So if I have a foam that is having right now the viscosity of 10 cm, and I need to with a foam that is having the viscosity of 1,000 cm, the numbers are real and they exist in the market right now. Immediately means that my proportion will need a rating. Immediately means that I have to contact with the system manufacturer, order the pump, take it where the vessel is, empty the system, put it inside, invite the investigation society to identify the system. It's a mess. Okay, so how do I avoid this? Obviously, by creating on board the phone that is coming a similar proposal with the number that they are having on board. Can I do that in detail? So the number one thing of this thing is the preparation. Check, I'm repeating. Check your system drawing. Contact the responsibility and do the dedicated case analysis and take the declaration from the manufacturer. That's the first thing. So all these solutions, it's like this, that's where we came, and that's what we do, and we are supporting many vessels in the global scale with this group. We are running for more than 2 years now. And we have people with the biggest teams out there, both on PCP. And everything starts from the point zero, which is the data value. So we are taking the drawings of the system, and we are taking this data. Okay, we are taking persistent to see the phone type, the phone manufacturing, the viscosity, and all these things. And we are either providing the declaration of the screen when we are coming from the manufacturer, or we strongly recommend to proceed into the dedicated format from an accredited one. Impossible from now on. And I need to buy a home that is having a viscosity that suits on my system from side. If I know these things 40, 50 days prior, everything we will send it home and we will do the rest of the tasks that we will see in there. From the other hand, if I do at the last moment, I will not be in position to take the appropriate product from my facility with whatever was not happening. So why is it critical all these things to happen mostly reliable? And again, it doesn't mean that I perform with others, but it's not convenient, it's not easy. The first thing that needs to be done is to drain the old form, taking it out, and send it, as we said before, a sort-based facility in order to do the form. From there, we will get the disposal of implementation letter at the end of the meeting. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second, and most critical part, is to understand that I'm taking out a form that is having a chemical that is considered forever chemical. And I take it out because it's banned. So if I put inside a new form without perform any kind of cleaning, obviously this form will be mixed with the old one, and what will happen will be polluted. And afterwards, when I will go for an analysis, we'll be again having false concentration and we will request it to be replaced again. So I have to perform a dedicated cleaning on them. The tank cleaning is a very delicate action because you need to use combination of scratching, hot water, chemicals, and a very good service station that knows what does and what it performs. For us, it is mandatory once the cleaning is finished. It flush the system with just a small part of the new form. We take a sample, send it to an accredited lab again the second time, just to make sure that the tank is clean. We do that as a mandatory step, not for any other reason, but just to ensure what is going to place on board at no time, the new form will not be polluted and be disposed of after 3 years. So we draft an additional analysis, we which is certify that the steps that we are taking are safe. So after that, we calibrate the proportion of value based on the methodology or the new form. We perform a 5-year analysis. We show a full digitization into the evaluation of the new form, the whole thing, and what is going to change. So we are doing the total report, so we know the form declaration, multiple certificate in the new form, and 344 second analysis problems proving that the thing is so all these are sufficient enough in order to prove to anybody that you have adapted your relation in the situation. At the end, the service report will look something like that. Okay? So all these things are having one main point to understand here, right? We are talking about a new generation period, but we are going in a green planet, and because of that, many things are requested to be done. The home has to be replaced, and if your vessels are doing called inside the unit, has to be replaced in the 10th of December. Afterwards, the port control and is having the authority by you to start after the implementation. After the 1st of January of 2026, in a global scale, they will also, the control will also start to act in. So both 4 and 4 are considered valid. And you have to perform your action. Obviously, if you consider the numbers, only the targets that potentially need to replace on the things are more than 5,000 targets within the next 10 to 12 months. And I'm not talking about port devices, which is almost every vessel that is a completely form of physical all the running 5 to 6 years. Okay, I'm talking only about this. So the first step is technical skills. Analyze what's going on in the event and put them on your pipeline after my talk about them with your management so to take action plan. We are going to support you to all these things. So furthermore, I'm available also at our time to remain to discuss and to see how on tailor-made approach your field. Any questions? Therefore, how is it photo? How? There are very specific dedicated companies in the world. They are very few that they are taking care of the old home and they are actually putting on a very high temperature, more than 1,400 degrees, in order to make it happen. There are two in Asia, one in Europe and one in the that is taking care, and we are supposed to give company in order to take from you and in 2044. After the vessel is delivering the phone to us, it's taking also declaration of state. And you, what about classification of the fact, say, Patmos? Look what it's going to be. All the new phones of how to plus the investigation that we are fast with.
Thank you. I'm typically from Manila, retired seafarer. Yeah, talking about the enormous amount of foam to be discarded, especially on the VLCC.
More than 9,000 liters.
Yeah, that is what is inside the tank. And on top of that, you have also spare foam, which needs also to be replaced. But my question is that in case we arrive in a port where the availability of foam is not compatible with regards to viscosity, I know you have answered that question a while ago, but isn't it that the easiest way is to adjust the proportional band for both the low expansion and the high expansion foam?
If you're having a phone, then you're right. If you're having a phone with similar viscosity, similar means that if you go plus minus 20% of the viscosity of the phone that can be happening, if you are amending the proportional, again it will be fine. If you're having the two, as I said at the example from 10 some stroke to 1,000, then there's no amendment that's proportional that can make this system work. You need to change the pump. If you don't do it and put inside the form with a huge difference in viscosity, you will have a system that will not work. You will comply. You will have a form that will be perfect, but in case of an incident, the system will not work.
Okay, fine. In addition, sir, with the existing equipment on board, will have no changes in case you change the phone?
If the viscosity is similar, no, there will not be any kind of change, with an exception of two materials that need to be changed during the regular therapy. For example, the drum of the proportional valve, which is recommended to be replaced. But all these are things that happen in about 25 years, nothing specific. They're having a similar viscosity.
My last question, sir, is that will the effect or the viscosity of the foam mix will be different if you are using seawater and fresh water? Because the vessel could be in freshwater area, like the Great Lakes, and we have a Panama. And the vessel could also be in the middle of the seawater. Will the viscosity be different? And the proportional band will be okay for either freshwater or seawater? Thank you, sir.
This is arranged by the manufacturer of the system. So when you are having a new system on the website, it's also giving you a drawing and is having all the mathematical types, calculating what type of form needs to be used, what type of percentage of form you have in combination with water, for example, 3% from 97% water, and all that kind of things. Nowadays, we are talking about the retrofitting. You will take up what is inside this form inside, and you will place something similar inside. Okay, otherwise, if you alter it, then the manufacturer needs to certify the safety. That's where you come to a new farm and the classification is either more than one year.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I think that will be our last question. And if you have more questions, you can visit the Lisa booth. They will be very happy to answer all your questions, and they will be here until tomorrow.
Thank you very much for your time. For the pleasure.
But ladies and gentlemen, it's Jenny Collins, Lumpas Hagis from La Vida.
Anytime Maritime.
Anytime Maritime.
Anytime Maritime.